Sometimes the simplest stories have the most powerful lessons, right? Today, we're going to dive into a timeless fable that really gets to the heart of what it means to value something. And it all boils down to the difference between just getting something and actually earning it. So let's just kick things off with a question for you. What is the real difference between someone giving you $1 and you going out and earning that same dollar? I mean, it seems kind of obvious, but that simple question is the key to this entire story.
All right, so our story starts with a really wealthy father. This guy has everything he could possibly want, except for one thing. He's got a son who just doesn't understand the value of hard work. And because he's worried about his son's future, he comes up with this simple but honestly pretty brilliant plan to teach him a lesson he'll never forget.
And this is really where the problem is. On one hand, you've got the father. He's a wise, experienced merchant who built everything himself. But then you have his son, who's the total opposite. Lazy, loves to have fun, and has literally never worked a day in his life. This huge gap between them is where it all begins.
So one day, the father just lays down the law. He gives his son a challenge that's simple but pretty severe. He says, go out and earn something. If you don't, you won't get any dinner tonight. Now, for a kid who's never had to work for anything, that's a seriously scary thought.
Okay, so faced with the very real threat of no dinner, you'd think the son would go out and find a job, right? Well, not exactly. He immediately starts looking for the easy way out, which leads to his first attempt at earning some money. Totally terrified of doing any actual work, the son does what he's always done. He runs straight to his mother, crying. He knows she can't stand to see him upset, and he totally plays that to his advantage.
And yeah, it works, just like he knew it would. Seeing her son in tears, his mother's heart just melts, and she slips him a gold coin. Problem solved, or so it seems.
So the son proudly shows his father the coin, and his dad gives him a very simple instruction. Throw it in the well. And without even hesitating, the boy just tosses it in. And right then, the father knows. He just knows. Because think about it. Who throws away something they truly worked for that easily? The father, he's smart. He knows exactly what happened, so he's one step ahead. The next day, he sends his wife off to visit her parents, and he gives his son the exact same challenge. So what does the son do? He uses the same old trick, but this time he goes running to his sister. And what do you know? It happens all over again. The sister feels sorry for her brother and just hands him a gold coin. So for the second day in a row, the son has a coin that he didn't have to lift a single finger to get. And when the father repeats the same test, the result is exactly the same. The son chucks the second coin into the well without a care in the world. At this point, it is just crystal clear to the father that his son still has no clue what it means to actually work for something.
This is where everything changes. The father is determined. He sends his daughter away too. So now there's no one left to run to. The son is completely on his own, and he has to face this challenge for real this time. With absolutely no other choice, the son drags himself to the market to find work. A shopkeeper offers him a job carrying a super heavy trunk. For the first time in his life, he feels what real labor is. His back is aching, his hands are raw, and he's just drenched in sweat. I mean, this is brutal, exhausting stuff he couldn't have even imagined.
And after all that pain, all that struggle, his payment isn't some gold coin that was just handed to him. It's a single silver coin pressed into his very tired hand. This coin, this one is different. It represents his sweat, his aching muscles. It's the first thing he has ever earned all by himself. Exhausted, but maybe even a little proud, The son goes home and shows his father the silver coin. And what does his wise father do? He puts him through the very same test, one last time.
But this time the reaction is a world of difference. Those gold coins that were just given to him, he tossed them away without a second thought. But this silver coin, this little piece of metal he worked all day for, the very idea of throwing it away makes him cry out in horror.
He just cries out. You can almost hear the pain in his voice. "Father, my entire body is aching, and you want me to throw my hard-earned money into the well?" And in that moment, with that one passionate outburst, that's when the father smiles, because he knows his son finally gets it. The father just embraced his son. His plan was a total success. See, he wasn't trying to be cruel, he was trying to teach. And now, his son finally truly understood the massive difference between being given something and actually earning it. So this brings us to a really important word, worthwhile. Basically, something is worthwhile if what you get out of it is worth more than the effort you had to put in. The son's labor was painful, for sure, but the lesson he learned from it was absolutely priceless. That silver coin wasn't just money, it was a symbol of his own achievement. So, what's the big lesson we can all take away from this? Well, this simple story shows us that tough situations are often our best teachers. You know that old saying, no pain, no gain? That's exactly what this is about. Things we get easily, we rarely value. But it's hard work that builds the foundation for everything that's truly worthwhile in our lives.
And that leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? In your own life, can you think of anything that's truly, deeply worthwhile that didn't require some real effort to achieve? It's a really powerful idea to consider. Thanks so much for tuning in.